Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. We're going to do a little bit of off-roading in a Toyota Yaris hybrid, so stick with it. Here we go. A little bit of dust will be flying up, but the views and, well, what can I say? The drive. These are commonality roads, by the way. These are sort of like the back tracks in Paphos, should we say, just when you go off that beaten track. And often you'll find a spectacality of a villa down these lanes, that's for sure. But perhaps not the best thing to be driving your modern day car on, because they do like to rattle apart. But that's a good thing, because of course that keeps us in business. So we've just taken a gentleman's car back. That was that X-Trail that we've managed to offload. And now we're taking his Toyota Yaris. Now you understand why he's bought an X-Trail, don't you? So this is his runaround car, shall we say. But a great little car, it really, really is. And as coincidence, I'm actually running one as we speak. And I speak very, very highly of anything with a T on the front and the back, and of course with a H on the front and a H on the back as well, along with Nissan, and there are a few of the good brands as well. But please forgive the rattles and the vibrations. We're only going at 34 kilometers an hour, so what's that? I don't know, 16, 17, no, 20 miles an hour, isn't it? It's like that old speed limit when you were in downtown Wales. Big shout out to Lord Lee, and of course his girl Lady Vicky, and of course the girl who likes it always bright in her life, always complaining about that speed limit she was, of course Lady Whitney, and the man of her dreams, our Sir Jace. So we are going to join the tarmac now, if you're curious, and we're going to work our way from uptown Stromby, and we're going to head down to the Polish Road, and we're going to take a right, not a left, no, a right, and we're going to head to Paphos. So that's where we're going, and we're going to go down to the top of the Missouri Road and probably stop off at the Atlas coffee shop and get a nice hot latte. On that note, I'm going to say a big, big thank you for coming back to the channel. Thank you for hitting the like. Thank you for subscribing. That doesn't cost you a single penny, of course. But if you would like to pop a drop or two of benzene into the fuel tank to keep us driving around making these videos for you, why not go and hunt us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform, or hit the link in the description and on our About page. And I'd like to say a big, big thank you to many of the guys that do. If your name is Sir Johnny of the Debt, and of course there's a beauty in your life called Lady Amy, we thank you very, very much for your contributions to the channel. If your name's Sir Carl, there's a Lady Rebecca, and of course a little Prince, yeah, Prince James. Big, big shout out to you guys. And we're looking forward to seeing you all when you come to Paphos, by the way. And of course September is going to be pretty busy because the temperatures go down, and a lot of the people who like to come to Paphos over and over again either come out in around May, or they come back, or perhaps only their once a year holiday in around September, October, because you're still going to get a great, great suntan. The views, well, they're without question, aren't they? They're to die for. The blue, 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 blue Mediterranean Sea, that's going to be sitting there waiting for you. Everything will be blue. The sky will be blue. The sea will be blue. I think you know by now, Mr. Paul, he'll be dressed head to toe in blue. So that must mean one thing. All that is missing is you. So come on, get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy. Because Paphos, Cyprus, Marika and me, oh yeah, we're waiting, especially for you. So this is the main link road from Kathikas, and it's going to take us down to Stromby, and of course that's roughly, approximately halfway between Paphos and Polis. When we get to the intersection, the T-junction at the end of this road, I'm pretty sure there's a sign that will tell us exactly how far it is to Polis and exactly how far it is to Paphos. Now, there's going to be some fun and games coming on in a couple of minutes, because when we were coming up, they were laying some of the tarmacadam and improving the road, because this road's a strange road. You've got some parts of it, like here now, it's not that bad. The tarmac's starting to crack up, but as you go around these next series of bends, oh my God, there's some potholes. So the government, or the local municipality, I suppose, has found some money under the bed, and they are tarmac in the road. So that's going to be good, isn't it? It means it'll smooth out all of those little undulations and potholes like that, so we won't be crashing and destroying our car suspension. But it's all part of that grand conspiracy, isn't it? Because of course, when you do have to get your car suspension fixed, not only does someone like I make a couple of bob, but so does the government. Think of all the taxes on those products and all the VAT. Anyway, rant over Lord Andy and of course Lady Ness. And they'll be coming to Paphos in 20 days. Not long. Oh no. He believe in his business in the capable hands of his son, obviously. He's the greatest Land Rover parts salesman in the world, by the way. And that's why he's got a love in his heart for Land Rovers, because of course if he needs parts, they're sitting on his shelf. It's these other poor sods that have been duped into buying Land Rovers and Range Rovers that, well, always are breaking down. That's why he is a very, very wealthy man indeed. Anyway, talking about four-wheel drives, I've talked about it now for a couple of days, and we're pretty sure that we are going to set up the new channel. It's probably going to be called Bro and Me. In other words, my brother and me, the idiot in a blue hat and a pair of sunglasses, and we're going to go on off-roading adventures, dirt tracking up in these hills, and we're going to find some places to, well, test the four-wheel drive mechanism on a Toyota RAV4. Yes, Mark 1, the original, they used to call it the hot hatch of four-wheel drives, because of course back in those days they were all very, very agricultural, shall we say, but the RAV4 rewrote the rule book all the way back in 1994, 1995 now. So we've decided, we think anyway, that we're going to go and buy one of those. I've taken a lot of advice from Lord Lee in downtown South Wales, and he is a Land Rover mechanic, probably the best Land Rover mechanic in the world, which again why he's got a lot of money, because he's always working on Land Rovers and they're always breaking down. But whenever you go to a Toyota dealer, yes, they've got their servicing bays, and yes, they've got cars in there, don't get me wrong, but normally you can sit there and wait while your Toyota is serviced, because all they're going to do is do a service, as the name suggests, and then you can have a nice coffee, watch a bit of TV, perhaps watch Marika and me on YouTube, and then get back in your Toyota and drive away. And immaterial of how old they are, normally they are very, very reliable cars. So I know I'm boring you to tears, but the odds are we're going to buy a Toyota RAV4. It's got permanent four-wheel drive, not bad ground clearance, but we think we might put some bigger wheels on it and some bigger tyres, which will lift it a little bit more, and make some other little modifications as time goes on, and we'll take you on that journey with us. And of course, Lord Julian, that's what he wants to see, like a version of Car SOS in downtown Cyprus. Now, here we go. This is where all the tarmacking of the inulations is, and as you can see, no traffic light control. You've got to force your way through, shall we say. So let's scare the living daylights out of this tourist and tell him to get out of the way. There we go. He's tonking his horn as I told him to move with my big boy cigar. Oh, look, we have got a man with a sign, but here we are. This is all the improvements they're making along this road. Whether they're stopping here or not, or going to keep on going, I don't know. But come back for another episode and we'll keep you updated. Anyway, as you may have noticed, there are two other new... Oof, that was a bit of a bump, wasn't it? I think they're going to keep on going. They're not going to leave it like that, are they? Well, you never know. This is Cyprus. But as you may have noticed, there's two other channels on the blog, on YouTube. One, of course, is Marika and you, and the other one is Cars and Me. So why not go and hunt them down? The links are on our About page. If you want to learn Marika's beauty routines, want to see some of her clothes, sunglasses, learn how she keeps herself in shape and how she keeps to her diet, perhaps that'll keep you entertained. And of course, if you want to watch an idiot in a blue hat and a pair of sunglasses, monkeying around with cars, buying them, selling them, refurbing them, and driving them around, well, Cars and Me could be that channel that's waiting especially for you. And like I say, we are going to launch a new channel. Lots of you guys have said you might watch it. Hopefully you will watch it. Obviously it's going to appeal to a slightly different audience, because we're going to buy a clapped out old 4x4 and go adventuring in and around the tracks and the mountain ranges in and around Cyprus. And we might go quite a long way, by the way. We might even venture as far as Nicosia, and we may even go north. What do you think of that for an idea? So hopefully when that channel comes online, you guys will do us the honour of having a quick look at it, and if you like it, hit the like, and of course subscribe to the channel. Here we are, Stromby. Well, that's what it says on the sign anyway. Hear all the tarmac coming off the tyres, flicking up underneath. Anyway, not a bad thing. It's like a bit of underseal, isn't it, protection on the car. But I tell you what, the weather. Do you want to know about the weather? Yeah, it's changed a little bit because of course we are rapidly now starting to head towards September. And of course September, the temperature drops a little bit, but not too much. Don't worry if you're coming for a holiday. You're going to get a spectacular suntan if that's what you're chasing. Or perhaps if you want to go up into the mountains on a Jeep safari, it's that little bit more comfortable because the temperature at the moment is like 33, 34 degrees and the humidity has dropped a little bit as well. But when we hit September, the temperature will stay around about the same, but the humidity will diminish. And that's the bit that makes us all feel uncomfortable, especially if we go off on a Jeep safari or perhaps go on a cruise in the afternoon. So September, October, November could be those perfect months for you if you're looking for a great place to come on a holiday and you want that little bit of autumn sun, shall we say. They always say summer sun and winter sun, don't they? We should come up with some new phrases of autumn sun. There we go. This could be the autumn sun channel from next month. So don't forget to hit the like, don't forget to smash the subscribe, and please don't forget to go and hunt us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform and gift us that virtual coffee or two. Keep that benzene in the tank to keep us driving around making these videos, especially for you. And if there's somewhere you'd like me to go, whether it's me on my own or of course with Oching Ala Booth, the most beautiful woman in the world, of course that's my Marika and your Marika, drop it into comments and that video could be coming very, very soon, especially for you. Let's take a left, or is it a right? It's a left, yes. We're going to take a left and cut out that part of Stromby, and we're going to head in the back lanes and go towards, well, I suppose it's Polemi. We're going to kiss the edge of Polemi, then we're going to head over the top towards Tasada, and then we're going to take a left. I think it's a left, or is it a right? No, it's a left. And we're going to go through the Memphis Hills Resort, then we're going to come to the bottom T-junction there, and we're going to take a left or a right. A right. Could be a right. Well, I think it's a right. And then we're going to head towards Armu, and then we're going to keep on going down the steep hill and join the Limassol roundabout and of course hit Paphos. So perhaps if you were coming from Stromby or Polis or Kathikas and you didn't want to go along the main road, well, this is the alternative route. Or perhaps if you're trying to avoid those speed traps or something like that. Excuse the inulations, obviously it is a back lane, and if you want to see more roads like this, like I say, the new channel will be coming online soon, and hopefully you guys will tune in and drop us a comment or two. We're going to hit the tarmac very, very soon, so it's going to get a bit smoother for you. There we go. So this is the road from Stromby to Polemi, okay? And that is a winery. Now I can't pronounce it because it's written in sort of Greeklish, but apparently rumour has it that they do make pretty good wine. And this, by the way, on the right hand side is a former Polemi concentration camp. My goodness, what's going on in the world at the moment, eh? Well, it's from olden days, isn't it? So nice views around here, by the way. Lots of expats are either living out here full-time or perhaps part-time as they flip around the world wherever else they might have a property or two. But a tranquil area, a beautiful area with some great walks and of course some very, very scenic views, and the temperature, or should we say the humidity, is that little bit lower. So quite a nice place to chill out, relax, and perhaps chew the fat with your friends and your family, or perhaps walk your cat or your dog. You never know. Now, talking about walking cats, there are one or two cats that do go for a walk with you. I used to have a Siamese cat, and he used to like to go for a walk. I used to say walkies, he'd prick his ears up, fluff his fluff up, and say, yeah, come on, dude, let's go. And we've got a cat at the moment, his name's Tiggs. He likes to go for a walk as well. So who says that you can't train a cat? Especially if you've got a bit of chicken souvlaki in your pocket. Here we go. This is Polemi. But we're not going to go through Polemi. We are going to take Is it a left or is it a right? A right, yeah. We're going to take a right and head on the back roads towards our moo. So perhaps this is a road that you may never ever have been on, and perhaps you never want to go on it. But sometimes it's quite nice to watch as other people take you on your travels. I spend quite a lot on YouTube looking at cars and all those kind of things. And I often stumble upon, somebody driving this kind of car, that kind of way, and it can be quite fascinating. And now and again, you hit the like, you subscribe, and of course you go back and you get hooked to watching as, well, some people make a fool of themselves. I've no doubt on our new channel, myself and my brother will get stuck once or twice, so don't forget to tune in and watch a couple of idiots. And of course we'll dismount and show you on camera what we have done, and we'll be carrying a couple of spare wheels with us because well, you don't want to get a puncture and have to walk all the way back from the middle of nowhere, do you? So back road from Polemi to our moo. Look at that, that's a Honda, see? Honda Jazz, or a Honda Fit as it's called normally in Cyprus. Could be the greatest car in the world, especially if you're in a town or in a city. And look, there's another one. There you go, that's the first generation, which probably is the greatest car in the world. Before all the electronics came in and all those silly ideas, sensors for this and sensors for that. What they should do is sensors for potholes and road inulations, isn't it? So that we know how deep it is, rather than all these adaptive suspensions and all those kind of things. Anyway, I'm going to ride this big boy. You all look at those views. They're enough to take your breath away. But this really is a nice area, by the way. You've got some flat plains and then some curves and some hills. Some beautiful villas scattered about. Again, some of them are for holiday lets or an Airbnb. So perhaps if this is the kind of holiday you want, as we keep telling you, drop us in the comments. If you found that perfect villa in and around Polemi or Stromby, you never know. We might go do a drive-by and show you exactly where it is. Bear in mind, you'll need to hire a car or steal a car. Don't worry about the police out in this area. They're not too bothered. They're more interested in sitting in the police station and drinking frappes and, well, watching YouTube. And again, apparently one or two watch Marika and me. Yeah, it's a strange little world that we live in, isn't it? Especially my mate, Paphos, the greatest policeman in the world. So here we are. Now there's a nice villa on the left-hand side, and it's been like that as a shell now for about, I don't know, 10 years or so. So obviously someone is building it on the lump, as we would say in English, or perhaps they've just forgotten about it and got just too many villas. Quite common in Cyprus, by the way. So we're going to wiggle, we're going to waggle, and we are going to come to a T-junction at the end, and we're going to take a, let me think about it, a right. Yeah, we're going to take a right, and we are going to head towards Tasada. If you take a left, by the way, you'd go to Latimbu, which is quite an adventure on there. And I remember, a year ago or so now, I remember when Marika was away and I started doing drive videos, and I went all the way out along there and did a series of about 6 videos coming from some village. I think it was Cholu, then Latimbu, and then all the way back to Paphos. And I remember I really enjoyed it, so we might go and find some dirt tracks out that way for the new channel when we go off-roading. And like I say, hopefully you guys will come and join us for an adventure or 2. Haven't decided how many episodes. It'll be at least 3, obviously, but it may be 5. You drop in the comments, tell me what would you suggest, because the idea is to go out and film for about an hour to an hour and a half. Now that's a lot of time to steal from you guys, we understand that, and then break it up into either 3 videos or 5 videos, obviously with a hello and welcome back at the start and a thank you for watching at the end, and then title them as episodes 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So perhaps if it's of interest, you would know and then come back and you would never miss an episode that is of interest. Anyway, drop in the comments. Should we do 3 videos a week or 5 videos a week? Dirt trailing, shall we call it, or off-roading now and again. So this is the road from Latimbu towards Tasada, And I promise you, very, very soon indeed, you are going to get some great views. And then we're going to take a left and go through the Memphis Hills Resort. That's a golf course, villa complex, and they have got a hotel apartment complex as well. They've got a spa if you want to get that special massage or facial. They've also got a golf shop and a couple of fancy boutiques. So don't tell Marika, otherwise she'll be going there. So Paphos from here is 12 kilometres. To Sada, I think it was 5 kilometres, wasn't it? Remember, all the signposts in Cyprus are in kilometres. So if you want to work it out into British money, that's miles. Knock off around about 40% or so, and you'll come with it. So 12 kilometres, what, about 8 miles, somewhere around there. Quite a short commute by British standards. But here's a crazy thing, by the way. People in the UK, before they retire, they commute 50, 60 miles every day, drive 20 miles to the supermarket, and then they come and retire to Cyprus. And then all of a sudden, they start saying things like, oh my God, Paia to Paphos is a long way. I only want to live on the Tomb of the Kings. It's funny how when you retire or come to a smaller country with a laid-back lifestyle, how your mind changes. And I'm similar, by the way. I love driving, but the thought of going to Limassol, no. So most of our time we spend driving in and around Paphos. But like I say, on the new channel, some mornings we're going to get up quite early and head out into the Nicosia district, the Lana district, Famagusta, and we're going to take you on those adventures. So I'll just recap. There are 2 new channels on the block already. One is Marika and you. As its name suggests, Marika will be talking to you. And of course the other one is Cars and Me. And of course, as its name suggests, it'll be me monkeying around with cars. The future channel is probably going to be called Bro and Me. And of course that will be me and my brother monkeying around, dirt tracking, off-roading, and probably more often than not, getting stuck. So if you want a good laugh, keep your eyes and ears open for that channel. We'll let you know when it's about to launch. Let's take a right. No, it's a left, isn't it? Let's take a left into Memphis, or Memphis Hills to give it its correct title. Like I say, it's a golf course, it's a villa complex, and they're all pretty expensive, by the way. I don't think you can buy anything in here for less than €1 million. The ones that you're going to see as we drive past are 2.5 million and up. So, well, they say that golf is a rich man's sport, and if you want to live anywhere near a golf course, you need to be a very, very rich man. Although that sounds sexist, perhaps you can just be a multi-millionaire-ess. And if you are, let me know, because I'm looking for 1 or 2. I've got 2 arms, so I can escort you both around, no problem. And give you a drive around, shall we say. Drop you off, pick you up, no problem. I don't charge that much. Just make sure in the prenup that you're going to give me a good $1 million or 2, and I'll be very, very happy indeed. So let's start our descent into Memphis Hills. You'd think they'd improve the road, wouldn't you? And maybe they will in the future. So keep coming back, and of course, as they do, we'll take you on that little adventure. But look at that, great views straight across the golf course, beautiful villas all around, 24-hour security, even though there's nobody there, but at least it does scare the burglars off in Cyprus. They're quite lazy, by the way, in Cyprus. Too hot, you see. It's far, far too hot. Often a burglar wakes up and thinks, we'll do it tomorrow. There you go. This is the Golfina View restaurant here, and it's a weird restaurant. People say it's got great food, but more often than not, it's not open. So make sure if you want to go there that you check it on the internet, or perhaps give them a call. And it's very sort of seasonal, shall we say, but people I've spoken to said they've always had a very, very good meal there. Anyway, this is the start of the Memphis Hills, and this is sort of the resort area on the left-hand side. So if you were coming here for a weekend or a week or a fortnight, this is probably where you would say up and down apartments, underground car parking. Like I say, there's a spa in there, there's a couple of upmarket shops in there, there is a cafeteria in there, and on this side over here, which is the main clubhouse, there is a very, very good restaurant. Obviously with prices to accompany your food, but if you want a gourmet meal, that could be the place for you. And of course, if you want to go and play a round of golf, again, there's buggies and a golf shop and those kind of things. So Memphis Hills is rapidly coming to its fruition. There's a little bits and bobs that they're finishing off. On the whole, you know, the roads are not too bad. The villas have all got spectacular views. The ones on the left have got inland views, and the ones on the right, some of them have got sea views. So a lot of money, but if you've got the money, not a bad place to live. It's a little bit like Aphrodite's Hills. It's at least you would know that your neighbour is rich, shall we say. So you haven't got to keep up with the Joneses that much, because you already know he is a Jones. And if you're a Jones, well, you'll be doing all right. So let's keep going. And you may have noticed one or two clouds up in the sky. Like I say, this is what happens at this time of year as the summer and the autumn start to have an argument. You see that? That was a Land Rover Discovery. Now, I looked at one of those, by the way, but I consulted my mate Lord Lee in downtown South Wales, and he said, run a mile. That's what he said. So I did. We're going to stick with the Toyota, that's for sure. And I think we're going to feature that car on Cars and Me in its daily life, because I think, I mean, I've owned quite a few RAV4 Mark 1s, and I've never ever had a problem with one. And they ride quite well, they're quite swift. They're not the greatest car in the world, don't get me wrong, but they don't tend to rattle and shake that much. And I think I'll feature it on the channel. I think I might use it as a daily driver as well. Could be another part to the channel, driving around in a, well, almost 30-year-old it will be. Crazy where time has gone, isn't it? I remember when that car came out. Obviously I was too young at the time, but you know, I remember when it came out, and it was well, it was highly acclaimed by all of the road testers, and I've never known anybody who's ever owned one that didn't say that it truly was a fabulous car, whether they bought it brand new or second hand. And even today, I've got customers with ones that are 25 to 30 years old. They can afford to buy a much newer car, but they bought that perhaps as a holiday car, and when they came back to Cyprus to retire, they decided, you know what, it's not a bad car at all. So if you are looking for a cheap four-wheel drive, perhaps for the winter season in the UK or in downtown Poland, if your name is Anna, my superstar, you never know. When your Lexus gets stuck, I'm pretty sure that a RAV4 will keep on going. But look at those for views. Views to die for. Views, quite simply, to take your breath away. Oh my goodness. And if you look carefully now, between these two hills, just over there, is Paphos International Airport, which is where you will be flying into. And if you've not been here before, by the way, Paphos is a really small and friendly airport. Literally, the plane lands, coasts up, you get out, walk in, bit of pandemonium as there is in most airports. Then you come out, get your baggage, again, bit of pandemonium obviously. Go through the duty control, there's never anyone there, so don't worry, whatever you're carrying. Come out, take a right, and you're in the main departures and arrivals place. What have you got there? A kiosk if you're feeling a bit thirsty. There's a Costa Coffee, although I think it's changed its name now. The hire car companies are all there waiting for you as well, by the way. Walk out the front entrance, your rep will be there, or your bus, or the local bus, €2 by the way, if you want to come from the airport to Paphos, or a taxi. And if you're going to come by taxi, it's going to cost you around about €30. But make sure you confirm where you're going and make sure you agree that price. Otherwise, like anywhere else in the world, there is the odd taxi driver, isn't it, that might charge you that little bit more. So if you want to get on the local bus, €2. If you want to get in a taxi, €30. Of course, if you're on your coach, it's already included in the price of your holiday. Or of course, if someone's picking you up, yeah, you see, simple, isn't it? Very, very simple. But don't be scared by Paphos Airport if you've never been here before. It's very small, pretty efficient, pretty organised, shall we say. I don't think there are any efficient or organised airports, are there? It all looks good until you get there, and then you find your boarding pass is, I don't know, scrunched up, or you can't get your mobile phone to work, or the man with the big machine gun doesn't like the look of you, or out come the plastic gloves, whatever it might be. But these things always happen at an airport, don't they? Even though you planned it to perfection, and you find you've left your wallet in the taxi or something like that. Anyway, that's the rant over about airports. So this road that we've just joined, by the way, is going to take us to Armu, and it's going to take us down to Paphos. But if you go the other way, it's going to take you to Episkopi, which is a bit of a dead end, although there is a track from there that will take you out towards Nata and Coletia, which is where we went the other day. Come back for that new channel. You know what? We'll be going on those adventures on the roads that are roads but are not roads, if you understand me. Well, not if you're clever anyway. If you're stupid, well, you might take your Toyota Yaris. But if you're not, go and buy yourself something like a RAV4 to do with it if you want to go and do that little bit of exploring. The views coming up slowly but surely are going to take your breath away, by the way, and you are going to get some views of that blue Mediterranean Sea, I promise you. So like I say, if you like it, hit that like, doesn't cost you a penny. Hit that subscribe, totally free of charge. Keep on coming back for the madness of Mr. Paul as he takes you on his little adventures in and around Paphos. And please don't forget to hunt us down on the Buy Me Coffee platform, because that's how you can keep the channel afloat. Drop that few drops of benzene into the tank. And of course, if you want to become a superstar family member on Marika and me, you can also do that at only a tenner a month. You get a special title, get yourself closer to Marika and me, and of course you'll be entered into the competitions as they come online. Not long to go and they'll be starting off, and of course we'll be able to go live as well, and probably we're going to go live on a Sunday evening. But again, we will keep you abreast and keep you informed and updated with what's going on the little channel known as Marika and me. So this is our move. We're going to keep on going, because as promised, I'm going to take you to Paphos, right at the top, the Limassol roundabout. And of course, as its name suggests, if you take a left, I think it's a left, you'll go out towards Limassol along the highway, which is about 70 kilometres, which in English money is around about 40-ish miles. Takes about 45 minutes at the speed limit. And always stick to the speed limit wherever you are in the world. Don't push it, because I promise you, there's boys, there's girls in blue, they're standing up with speed cameras, and there's little mobile camera vans here, there and everywhere. And if they catch you, you know what happens. You get an infringement on your credit card, especially if you've hired a hire car. They will be notified literally within 30 minutes, so there's no escape. When you go back with that car, not only are they going to hunt for some damage to try and keep your money on your credit card, but they're going to say, hey, you've been caught speeding, and that's the fine. Simple as that. So we're now dropping down from our moo. Bit of a inulation-ish road this. It wiggles, it waggles, it's got potholes from hell. You never know, one of these days they might find some money under the bed and give it a coat of the black stuff and make it that little bit more civilized. Anyway, look over the rooftop of this Peugeot, the rooftop of all of those houses and hotels, and the treetops, and of course that is downtown Paphos, and that is the blue Mediterranean Sea. This is Konya, that's what the sign tells us. And again, in this area, by the way, there's plenty of villas and apartment complexes. Again, it's, you know, what is it, 6-7 kilometers, so 4 or 5 miles from downtown Paphos. But of course, only you know what kind of holiday you want. Only you know where you want to be. So drop in the comments, tell us what you're thinking, and we'll give you our impartial and balanced advice and tell you if we think you're right or if we think you're making a mistake. Here's one of those inundations now with the zebra crossing, which I don't understand why, because I've never seen anybody walking on these pavements around here. It's a bit too far, and of course a little bit too hot. But anyway, that's another rant over. Look at that, a man with a crash helmet on its head. Must be a bit of a police crackdown, because that's the second one in a day. Very, very strange indeed. Let's get the big boy cigar lit up. Now, for those of you with very sharp eyes, just a couple of seconds back, you may have noticed a black Range Rover P38. So that's the second incarnation, isn't it? And I really like them, by the way. I was looking at one the other night, but yeah, I understand. Well, I'm already bald. I'm already bankrupt, but that thing it's probably going to bankrupt you again and again. Now let's stick with the Toyota RAV4 for the new channel. And I say, please drop in the comments all of your views on any of our channels, and we do thank you from the bottom of our two hearts. You haven't got to put up with me for much longer, by the way. Another couple of minutes and we'll be at the Limassol roundabout. Of course, we're on twice a day, 12 o'clock noon Cyprus time and 6 p.m. in the evening Cyprus time. So don't forget to keep on coming back. This is the Konya kiosk, by the way. Good kiosk there. They sell a good range of cigars, and they sell pretty much anything. You know, you can get eggs, cheese, ham, lots of chocolate, and of course they always sell the real thing. And luckily, they don't sell that stuff in the blue cans. Nah. Who drinks it? That's what I want to know. Who drinks it? Oh yeah, big shout out to Lady Andrea, and of course Sir Mart of the Peacock. And talking about peacocks, big shout out to Sir Mark. No, he's a lord, isn't he? Lord Mark of the Peacock, and of course his 3 girls. Hopefully we'll get to meet you guys very, very soon indeed. Bit of trivia for you. If you take a right there, is it right? Yeah, right. Take a right. In about 20 seconds, you'll be coming to the front entrance of the Paphos General Hospital. Hopefully you never need to go there, but that's where it is. And they're also directing you this way, go around the roundabout and around all the houses, and you can come to it again if you want to go there twice. This is the Limassol roundabout, and I'm going to say thanks for watching. I'll see you again very, very soon indeed. And as predicted, the traffic lights are on red. Oh, thanks, Lady Andrea. Bang on cue. There you go. Thanks very much. See you again very, very soon indeed.